Joining us now, Bishop William J. Barber II. He is president of Repairers of the Breach and founding director of the Center for Public Theology and Public Policy at Yale Divinity School. Bishop Barber, it is great to see you, sadly, under these circumstances, but we have a president who claims his own morality should be the only barrier to his power. What would it look like to actually have a president be a moral leader?
Well, let me start. This is heavy, Jonathan, because religious nationalists have helped feed this into Trump because they've taught him that he's some kind of Messiah figure, like Cyrus in the Bible, terrible exegesis, bad. And he really thinks his own morality is kind of his own God wannabe-ness. And so in his mind, whatever he does is wrong. It's a kind of sick, psychosis, narcissistic. But a true moral leader would be a leader that says, I am constrained. I'm constrained by the Constitution to establish justice, not injustice. I'm constrained by the Constitution to care for the, to provide for the common defense of all people, not blame somebody for being shot by an ICE agent. I am constrained by the Constitution to care for the least of these because I'm supposed to promote the general welfare of all Americans, not wake up in the morning and in my own mind decide, I know how I use my power. Let's see how many people's health care I can take. Let's see how many people I can block from a living wage. Let's see how many people I can make hungry in a time when food prices are out of whack. And while I'm doing that, let's see how much hate I can spread. Let's see how much division I can spread. Let's see how much meanness I can spread. And while I'm doing that, let me see how many more billionaires I can make billionaires and maybe a trillionaire. If you really were following just the Constitution itself, equal protection under the law, it would be different. But that's not where his mind is. Now, if you couple that with, he's also listening to these people that have decided that empathy is the cause of the decline of Western society. It's quite sick because it's because of empathy that we have hospitals, and because of empathy that we have Social Security, and because of empathy that we have Medicaid, because of empathy that we have public schools. It's because people empathize with those who did not have and said this ought to be the work of government. So what he has said is very dangerous and a sign of a very sick kind of narcosis and Messiah type thinking.
Bishop Barber, let me get your reaction to something from the National Catholic Reporter, which wrote this about J.D. Vance's inflammatory comments about Renee Good's death. The vice president's comments justifying the death of Renee Good are a moral stain on the collective witness of our Catholic faith. Vance knows that lying and killing are sins. Vance knows. He doesn't care. Vance's twisted and wrong-headed view of Christianity has been repudiated by 2 popes. His Catholicism seems to be little more than a political prop, a tool only for his career ambitions and desire for power. Your response to that?
Yeah, Vance's faith is power. Any way he can get it. And his commitment to what we call technocratic feudalism and the kind of creating what they call apocalyptic politics, where you suggest things are so bad and that means you got to give us any power we need to do whatever we want to do. Dr. King informs us here something. When he preached the funeral of the 4 girls that were blown up in Birmingham, he said the question is not just who killed them, but what killed them. And what has killed this mother in this city is the willingness to militarize our next cities in an unchecked battle. What has killed her is a hunting spree for immigrants and turning on immigrants in a country of immigrants. What killed her is an attitude that force and violence is how the government governs. Fear is how the government governs. And that's the problem. And that's why we must have a movement of people who decide we must love forward together. We love abolishing poverty. We love living wages. We love health care. We love love and not hate. We love freedom and rule of law, not out of control ICE agents. We must mobilize together and mobilize in ways like we have never had before.
Bishop William Barber, it is always great to see you. Thank you very much for coming to The Last Word.